I hope you can see this session. I'm going to be talking about how to scale at speed. And I'm waiting for the slides to come up. Hello. I hope that the slides are now on the screen. Technical glitch, dialing in from London in the UK, where the weather is miserable. I'm going to talk about how to double your revenue, and I'm going to talk you through the methodology that is outlined in the book and in Scale at Speed and a 2y3x as part of the 2y3x program. So I'm just going to give you a quick introduction to myself, and then I'm going to take you through the methodology that we use. Literally, I'm going to take you through one step at a time, how we double companies' revenue, agencies, digital agencies' revenue, reliably over the course of 2 years. The methodology is outlined in the book, Scale at Speed. And just to give you an introduction about myself, I was the CEO of pioneering digital agencies. I started one of the world's first web design companies, and then I ran an agency group for a few years. I was also an adjunct professor on the MBA courses and Masters in International Marketing courses at Holt Business School. And I now run 2y3x, which is a growth acceleration program in Europe, the UK, the United States, Canada, and in the Middle East and North Africa. We're just about to open in the middle of Africa as well. And as I say, I'm also the author of Scale at Speed. Scale at Speed is the manual for the 2y3x program. And if you don't want to listen to me, but you do want to find out how to grow your company, go out and pre-order the book. It comes out on June the 10th from Hachette Worldwide on audiobook and Kindle and in paperback. So this presentation, I'm going to give you a tiny bit of good news actually from Gartner. Then I'm going to talk about the 2y3x methodology and the process, and I'm going to show you how to do it so that you can do it for yourselves. And then I'm going to answer any questions that you might have. So I hope you enjoy this talk. We will see. So starting off with some good news. Gartner did a study last year in the middle of the pandemic and coronavirus, and they concluded that there would be several different stages to the way that companies responded to lockdown and to the crisis. And the first stage was respond. So roll your sleeves up, figure out what you need to do, get on with it and survive. Do your staff triage, put people on furlough, make sure that you've got enough cash to survive, and so on. Then there's the recovery phase. And the recovery phase essentially was about saying, okay, so what do we need to do in order to be fit for purpose for the future? How do we need to redesign our company? And then renew is how do we then scale the new company? And they put it very elegantly in a series of slides, of charts, which ended up, if you see here on the right, with rescale. And that's what we do. So this rescale part is survived. Now that you know that you are ready for the future, how do you start growing really, really fast? How do you scale up? And 2y3x and that's what we do for a living, is we actually guarantee the results that we get when we work with companies who come into the program. They work with us for 2 years, and we guarantee that we double or triple their revenue. This scaling requires a very robust plan of action, and I'm going to teach you now how that plan of action actually works. So the first step is figuring out where you want to be in 3 years' time. And there's a whole bunch of science by a guy called Edwin Locke, who created something called goal setting theory. And goal setting theory basically says the tougher the goal, the more likely you are to put together a plan to reach your goal. And if you have a plan, the more likely you are to achieve your goal. So essentially, he says, create a goal that's really challenging because you're more likely to reach that goal and achieve your goal. So when we start working with companies, we start with the goals. We start with a very strong financial goal. We also add in a goal, where do you want to be in your market compared to your competitors? And we set a cultural goal. TT100 here represents the Times top 100 companies to work for. But your cultural goal could be described by employee engagement scores or net promoter scores or employee retention or some other measure. But it's really, really important that you create a cultural goal for your organization so that you know and how to hire them and how to motivate them and what kind of company you want to be. Because it's very easy to make profit at the expense of people's happiness. And I believe, at least, that happier people lead to happier clients, and happier clients leads to better growth. And I'm all about scaling, so that works for me. Once we've set the initial goals, we then start working backwards. So we actually think about what's happening in 2023 that will these goals, and we break these work science, sales and marketing, processes, and corporate and financial. So I'm going to use an example from people. So we start at the end. If you want to sell your company in 3 years' time, you want to be making €1 million EBIT, or £1 million EBIT, or $1 million EBIT. You want to be the industry leader. You want to be an amazing place to work. So we start at the end. And the first thing we define is what's happening in 2023. Well, if you want to sell and exit, then you need your senior management team in charge of running your business. If you want that to happen the year before that, you need a senior management team in place practicing to have responsibility for running your business, which means that in 2021, this year, we need to identify the senior management team and put them in place and start their training. So I hope that makes sense. If you want this place to be an amazing, culture needs to be your biggest focus in 2023. The year before that, you need to be focusing on only having A players, superstars working in your business. And if you want superstars working in your business, you need to figure out how you're going to incentivize them. Backwards, you can see that you start to build up a picture of things that you need to figure out now, this year. Hiring strategy, continuous professional development, training programs, coaching programs. So you start at the end until you've got a list of things that you need to do this year in 2021. And once you've decided all of these different things in these different areas, clients, sales and marketing, processes, corporate and financial, then all you have to do is work through all of these tasks in 2021. And once you've worked through all of these tasks in 2021, you get to 2022, and then you need to work through the tasks in 2022. Once you've done that, then you need to work through your tasks in 2023, and that delivers you to your exit point, to your goals. So it can get really complex, and there's loads of stuff that goes in here, but this is what we do for a living. We help our clients get through this whole process, and then we teach the companies that we work with how to do each of the components, and we teach the teams how to be effective. So how does this work in practice? We've now got a series of tasks to do in 2021. We've got to identify a senior management team or recruit them. We need to put in place a new hiring strategy. We need to put in place a training program for our staff. We need to put in place a client satisfaction survey for our clients. We need to sort out our proposition in sales and marketing and our marketing collateral. We probably need to figure out timesheets and KPIs in processes. Financial, we need to tighten up our credit control, make sure we've got enough cash in the bank, make sure that we're making 20% net profit at least. So these are a series of tasks that we have to deliver over the course of 2 years. And if you're anything like the companies that we've worked with over the last year or so, they've been going up and down on this plateau, this business plateau, and it's been terrible. So the first thing that we do is we start with resetting targets. We make the targets really strong, really high. As you can see, we've raised the target here on the right. And then we start working through all of our tasks, all of the hiring strategy and client satisfaction survey tasks. And these building blocks start to transform our business. These are the building blocks for scaling. This is how we scale companies fast. We put in place great new hiring processes. We put in place incentive schemes. We put in place new marketing processes, new workflows that are designed to be future-proof, that are designed to help take you into the future, allow you to scale in ways that you haven't been able to scale before. And it's really, really simple. So where do we start? We start with assembling the team. Assembling the team is really, really important. Getting the right people on your growth team, on your strategic team, absolutely critical. The only people who should be on this team are superstars who want to change your business for the better. In my experience, these superstars should come from all over the business. You should have your newest employee who is going to be, brilliant in the future. You need somebody from a department that is usually ignored, but who has got an amazing brain. You want the best people in your business on this team. And we only need about 5 or 6 people on the growth team. This team is the team that is going to be delivering each of your tasks. So each of these tasks, like the training program, are going to be broken down into quarterly tasks. So in year 1, we'll probably have 20 or 25 things that we want to achieve. And if you've got 5 people on your team and we've got 20 tasks, then that's 1 task per person per quarter. So we start by assembling the team that is capable of delivering all of these amazing tasks, these building blocks for your future. And the part of the reason that we draw them from within the business is because when you draw people from different levels within your business, you'll get different perspectives, you'll get different ideas, you'll get real creativity that isn't constrained by the baggage of your history. You'll get people being really innovative. I don't really understand TikTok and things like that, but there are people on my team who do, and I want their perspective. So a team of the best of the best of the best in your company, not the most senior people in your company. One of the problems with senior people is senior people tend to be very good at managing, but they also tend to be very good at keeping things stable and keeping things the same as they've always been. And what you are trying to do here is transform your company. You're trying to make this company the best company it can possibly be. You're trying to get your company from 2 or 5 million revenue to 5 or 20 million revenue in a very short period of time. That's going to require your best talent. So it's really, really important that when you assemble the team, you pick the best people and you share with them the plan of action. You share with them this amazing plan that you've come up with. Here we go. Now, the best way to get people to a plan is not for you to be charismatic and you to repeat it over and over again as the leader of your business. The best way is if you can get your team to co-invent the plan. And what I mean by that is, once you've set the strategic goals, when we're doing this with our clients, we work with our clients, we bring the team together, we help our clients select the superstar team, and then we bring them together, and then we facilitate a session where that team designs all of the content for this. They work it out together. We as a team work it out together. We meet everybody in what direction there is. We will have done a lot of this work with the business's leaders in advance. But we really want to get to a situation where the team feels as though they've designed all of the tasks, that they've made the big decisions about, should hiring A players come before doing incentives? Should it come after doing incentives? Should we have a hiring strategy before we fire all of our C players, or after we fire all of our C players? Should we be doing our website before we do our proposition, or after? And the more they get to co-invent this plan with you, the more they will feel ownership and they will engage for the long term. And that's what we really, really want. We want this team of 5 or 6 people to be totally engaged for the next 2 years while you perform this transformation of your business and take it from where you are now to where you want it to be in 2 and 3 years' time. The reason we guarantee results is because once we've got that team together, we know that they'll be really, really passionate about it. And we know that that passion translates easily into doubling or tripling your revenue. We know this. We've had 5 or 6 years of experience delivering this. We've never failed. And one of the reasons that that happens is because the progress that we make on this kind of this roadmap that we put in place, these building blocks that we put in place, this process is relentless. It does not stop. There is no break. Every 3 months, a new set of tasks is distributed within this team of 5 people, and then they start the new task. At the end of 3 months, the end of every quarter, they deliver their task and they roll it out in the business. So we actually break these quarterly tasks down into 3 separate months. The first month is research. The second month is prototype. And the third month is implement. And for every single task, this happens. So for new hiring process, for example, research might mean look into top grading, read who the A method for hiring, understand what an A player is and what a C player is, understand what your values are, figure out how to do interviews and figure out how to do reference checks. That might be the research month. Month 2 is then the prototype. Okay, well, let's draft some interview scripts and let's try them out on our next hire. And then once you've refined that, once you've tested it and made it perfect, then rolling it out is, okay, here is how we do it. This gets added to the staff handbook, to the management handbook. This becomes the new way that our company does hiring. And it's brilliant. And then because it's been rolled out, you can then move on to the next thing. Okay, well, now we need to do job scorecards, or now we need to do marketing collateral, or now we need to do marketing events as our next task. So each of these amazing building blocks just happens relentlessly, one after another. Yeah, you're trying to create relentless progress so that by the time you get to the end of year 1 here, this yellow area, and you start moving into year 2, everything's ready for year 2. This methodology is incredibly powerful. It's incredibly powerful, and it's drawn from lots of different sources. So if you're familiar with Balanced Scorecard by Kaplan and Norton, if you're familiar with Vern Harnish's Scaling Up, or Jim Collins' Good to Great, or Patrick Lencioni, The 5 Dysfunctions of the Team, or The 1 Minute Manager, there's a whole series of brilliant, brilliant books that have gone into making this program what it is today. And as I say, this program now has a 5 or 6 year track record. We're now in, I think, 8 different countries. We're in the United States, Canada, Mexico, Italy, Spain, the United Kingdom. Where else are we? We're in United Arab Emirates. We're in Lebanon. We're in Saudi. We're all over the world, and we're growing because this program works, because it really, really engages with teams of superstars. It engages the best people in your business. This is a great quote from one of our program clients. We've achieved more in the first month than we usually do in a year. And that's because that first month is when you do the strategy map, is when you make this plan. Yeah. And you do that with the team, and the team suddenly engages and they feel really, really fired up about your future. This first month is brilliant. I love this stuff. That is really hard work, but that hard work is done with enthusiasm and skill, and you've got your best people working on it. It's brilliant. So that's how the 2Y3X program works. That's how Scale at Speed works, the book and the methodology. And I hope that all made sense. I tell you some of the insights from it that I find really, really interesting. One is that most of the companies that we work with have hit a barrier. They've grown really fast, and then they've stopped, and they don't know how to get beyond that barrier. And what this program does is it shows you a way to get through that barrier and then go all the way up to the next level. And it works really fast. But one of the things that happens as a result of that is that the owner gets their enthusiasm back. It stops being really frustrating. Oh my God, it's always my responsibility. Why is it my responsibility? It stops being stressful. And part of that is because you can see progress. You can see that you're scaling at speed. Part of it is because suddenly you're working with the best people in your business, the superstars. And part of it is because it's not any longer just you. It's now you and your team of superstars delivering the future of your business. So it's an amazing program. I love the program because I have to, and because it's my responsibility. You should know what the program takes. It takes 2 years. It costs 230,000 euros or 200,000 pounds. We guarantee results. That first workshop, this workshop here, where before we go into the full program, that strategy map workshop costs 5,000 euros. And sometimes clients just come to us for that strategy map workshop. Mostly we then carry on, because I tell you what, it is fun, and the people that we work with are amazing. So anyway, that's everything I wanted to show you. I am very happy to take any questions that you have. If you'd like to contact me, if you've got more questions, I'm happy to share anything you like. And as I say, you can buy the manual, the book, in June when it comes out, and you can go to Amazon and look up Scale at Speed now, and you can pre-order a copy. But I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, please fire away. Let's have a look. Okay. No questions. Thank you very much indeed for listening. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Um, and good luck as you go into the future.